Good evening. It is 6 p.m. on Monday, November 10th, 2025. My name is Carl Glad. I am the Town Council Chairman. I am calling to order the public forum of tonight's Town Council meeting. The clerk has the list. If there's anybody else who wants to get on it, just let us know quickly. But otherwise, we'll call your names. You'll have 3 minutes to speak. When you come up, please give your name and address, and then you'll have your time. Thank you. First on the list is Jerry Cunningham.
Hi, good evening. My name is Jerry Cunningham. I was kind of hoping that Mayor Hoydick would be here tonight, but...
Before you start, can I have your address as well?
125 Clarendon Street in Stratford. 4 points I wanted to make. First and foremost, I wanted to thank Mayor Hoydick and the other outgoing members of the Town Council for their service to the town and the people of Stratford over, in some cases, many years. Sometimes effective and efficient government is taken for granted, and it's not until everything's a disaster that you appreciate, things running smoothly. Secondly, I wanted to congratulate the incoming Democratic mayor, Mayor-elect Chess, and the Democratic majority to the Town Council. It's a political cliche, but if people run the town government as well as they ran the campaign, then things should go fairly smoothly. Thirdly, and this was specifically addressed for Mayor Hoydick, and that is it's fairly commonplace these days for those out of power to be the checks and balances for those in power. And where I'm going with this is Mayor Hoydick, perhaps more than anyone in this room, understands the trade-off between affordability and quality of life and the character of a town when it comes to dealing with the issue of affordable housing. And right now, that's right in front of us because that bill is either it's being debated in Hartford or maybe it's already passed. But she, as president of, I think it was the Connecticut Conference of Municipalities, she knew better than most what all the issues are, what the trade-offs are, and where the extremes are on both sides of this. So I think her wise voice, it would be good for everyone in the state of Connecticut, but especially in Stratford, if she continues to follow this issue and don't be a political Karen nitpicking on every small disagreement, but if there are major issues on how this bill is implemented, impacting the quality of life in Stratford, I would encourage Mayor Hoydick to speak up and speak out and let it be known that there may be a better way to do this, even if she's ex-mayor at that point in time. And then finally, I wanted to relay a personal story because one of the campaign issues was the firing of people who were out on disability, and that was a very effective campaign issue. About 40 years ago, I had a friend of a friend, an acquaintance who was a fireman, and he was injured on the job, and he applied for disability. Well, one day, this mutual friend calls me up and says, "Hey, Louis wants to go play tennis. We need a fourth guy." And it ended up being the first and last time I've ever been on a tennis court. Well, it turns out it wasn't just the four of us there. There was a camera. There's a camera crew who was filming the fireman out on disability running back and forth over the court, looking very athletic, so he was claiming he was lost mobility, he was in a lot of pain, but the video evidence, which regrettably for me I appeared in, showed otherwise. And my point is simply this, that there, underneath Mayor Hoydick, I don't think she acted in malice, I don't know the facts of the case, and underneath Mayor Chess, there will be times where you have to balance the rights and needs of town employees with the rights of taxpayers and citizens in the town who don't work for the government but who bear the burden of paying for it. Anyway, thank you for the time.
Thank you.
And appreciate your service to the town.
Thank you. Next on the list, Ms. Ehrenhaus.
Hi, my name is Amory Ehrenhaus, 2020 Elm Street. Good evening, Chairman Glad, Laura's empty chair, Council Clerk, and all other members of the Council. I would like to start off by congratulating all those who have been reelected to another term, and wish all those who will not be returning the very best in their future endeavors. I'm here today to express my extreme disappointment in the last-minute retaliatory decision to exclude the firefighters and EMTs from participating in the Veterans Day Parade. As the parade began its journey down Main Street and ended just across from my house on Academy Hill, I, along with others, noticed the absence of the firefighters and began to sense something was wrong. Later on in the day, I received a text from my good friend Carol Ann, who is here in the audience, who forwarded a link to a post on Facebook written by the Stratford firefighters. It reads the following: "This morning, just 1 hour before the town of Stratford's Veterans Day Parade was scheduled to step off, our members were notified by the fire chief that we were not being allowed to participate in this year's parade. We are disappointed by this retaliatory decision from the outgoing administration. For many years, Stratford firefighters have proudly marched to honor our veterans, many of whom are our brothers and sisters, not only in the fire service, but across all public safety. Today's exclusion is not just an insult to our current 8 members who are veterans, but to every firefighter and veteran who has served this community and this country with pride and integrity. We will continue to stand with and honor our veterans whether or not we are allowed to walk in this morning's parade." In response, Ms. Savko applauded the decision on Facebook and tried to justify it. She says that the firefighters were not allowed due to not submitting forms by the deadline. This may have been true for many years, but why is it that this year they were denied being allowed to walk in the parade? It's because they did not endorse Mayor Hoydick and instead endorsed now Mayor-elect Dr. David Chess. This decision is not just retaliatory, but it is shameful. These firefighters deserve our respect. They risk our lives every single day for this town and for everyone in the state. Whenever there's a fire, they put it out. Whenever there is someone who has an injury, they go and help and save them. It is not okay that we treat our firefighters this way, and I look forward to future leadership that will hopefully respect our firefighters and EMTs more. Thank you.
Thank you. Next on the list is Gerald Gray.
Good evening. I'm Gerald Gray of multiple addresses. P.O. Box 29 Shoreline Drive, 2850 Main Street, and 922 Barnum Avenue. For over 15 years, I have come before the Town of Stratford Town Council meetings and have spoken at the public forum multiple times. Until this current administration did away with it, the Town Council members each had the opportunity to reply to the public forums speaking citizens who made their 3-minute presentations. I strongly urge the newly elected incoming town council to reinstate this very significant part of the town council meetings. I also request that the new mayor and all town council members show up for the public forum segment of the town council meetings. I have never seen Mayor Hoydick nor most of the Republican members of the town council show up at this segment. It is most important that interest for and respect for the people of Stratford be shown, especially since public attendance at Town of Stratford's town council meetings has gone down so drastically since the reply to the public forum speakers component of these meetings was eliminated by the current administration. That being said, I next submit my heartfelt appreciation that there has been such voluminous Stratford residents' voter support for the cleaning out of the current Town of Stratford administration in last week's municipal election. As most of you know, I have for these past years been very vocal about the unconscionably horrific abuse that has been perpetrated upon my mother, Dolores Gray, and me by the complicit, collaborating, conspiratorial, rapaciously predatory actions of self-interested parties operating under color of law, under cover of law in Stratford and in Town of Stratford. Employees, politicians, attorneys and judges, officials, commission seat holders, condo association members, et al. This racketeering enterprise conspiracy, as defined by RICO and CORA and CUTPA, has unlawfully, criminally stripped my mother, Dolores Gray, of all her civil rights and appropriated and stolen her multi-million-dollar valued body of assets as they transferred hers and my homes, money, and assets into their own control, ownership, into their own wallets, own coffers via IRA, involuntary redistribution of assets. They have subjected my mother and me to such cruelty, such torturous abuse, to such evil wickedness. It is so extreme as to seem to belie credibility in its telling, all for their own unjust and unlawful self-enrichment. Most recently, the town has privately sold 29 Shoreline Drive, the beachfront cottage that my parents, Dolores and Joe Gray, cash purchased some 50 years ago, and in which all taxes, insurances, utilities, fees, et al. Were all in my mother Dolores Gray's name, and of which she always timely paid. My mother retained lifetime covenant of use of her Stratford Beach Cottage home. Can I finish? She
have
and
for
I were
about
living in
15
our
seconds.
Stratford home when the racketeering enterprise's predatory interested parties commenced their scheme to steal everything from her, from us. I am requesting the new Town of Stratford administration commence investigation into the years of corruption, fraud, unlawful, improper, illegal, criminal activities that have been perpetrated by interested and involved parties in Stratford in the Gray mother and daughter matters. I am requesting the new Town of Stratford administration commence action of recovering and returning our stolen Stratford home and our Stratford properties and assets back to the rightful owners. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Christine Andrews, not here at the moment. We'll go to Caitlin right now. So, Ms. Shake, you're next on the list of folks who are here.
Good evening, everyone. Caitlin Shake, 44 Charlton Street. I'd like to take a moment to address the council as a state representative for the 120th District. The council has a couple items on the agenda this evening, which is a great example of how the state is able to work with our local municipals. One of the bills that we were able to pass during the 2025 legislative session was the street takeover bill, which is a direct opportunity for our public safety, police in particular, to take stronger action against so many unfortunate events that we have had here in Stratford, but we're not immune. Other municipals across the state have also been subject to unfortunate street takeovers. The other item that is on your agenda this evening is a resolution accepting $100,000 from the state of Connecticut. During the legislative session, I advocated for two things here in Stratford of bringing funding directly home. $100,000 for our Stratford Veterans Museum for their window improvements, which has been an issue, as I know, from serving on town council on building needs. And that is one way out of many things tonight that we're going to do in order to acknowledge and say thank you to our veterans. But tonight specifically, I wanted to address you. I was honored to join my colleagues in the House and Senate in advocating for and passing legislation that expands property tax relief for veterans, a way to honor the brave men and women who have served our country and their families. Tonight's ordinance vote here in Stratford is a direct result of that work, and I couldn't be more supportive. I'd like to express my gratitude and thanks to all of our veterans for their service to our country. Our veterans have given their time, health, and risked their lives to protect our country and defend our freedoms. Tonight's historic passage of this ordinance is Stratford's opportunity to give back and recognize their contributions, not just with words of gratitude, but with meaningful action that eases their financial burdens and helps them to stay in the towns that they love and call home. I've been proud to advocate for this relief at the state level, as Representative Joe Gresko as well, including the entire Stratford delegation. And I will continue working to ensure that Stratford receives the full benefit of this legislation that we passed during the 2025 regular session. I want to thank the Town Council for working with us as state leaders and extend a special thank you to our Town Council Chair, Carl Glad, Town Attorney, Mr. Florek, Molly Ryan, our Municipal Veterans Representative, and Catherine Stauffer, our tax assessor, for working together with me to bring this relief to veterans here in Stratford, and for recognizing how important this ordinance is to our local veterans and their families. 30 seconds.
You could
Thank
finish.
you. Passing this ordinance is an important and meaningful way for us to say thank you to our veterans. Thank you to all our brave men and women who serve and have and continue to defend us, our country, and our freedoms that we all hold dear. I urge your full support. Thank you.
Thank you. We have Susan Fever? I can't tell if it's a U or a V. Hi. Just state your address as well. Name and address. I don't have it on here.
It's Susan Foyer, 415 Laughlin Road, Stratford. Thanks for allowing me the time to be here. I've been a resident of Stratford for going on 10 years, and this is my first time attending a council meeting, so it's kind of cool. I wanted to speak about the street takeover ordinance proposal. 2 years ago, I was driving north on Main Street and was stopped at the traffic light right near the train station, close to the underpass, just at a red light, and witnessed a street takeover, and it was kind of crazy, definitely intimidating. I don't know how many vehicles there were, probably, it felt like hundreds, I don't know if that's true, dozens at least, and I kind of just told myself to stay calm, wait for the riders to pass, and they eventually did, no big deal. But I'm glad to see that the council is prohibiting street takeovers because they are at the very least a nuisance, and at the worst, dangerous to us all. I know the point of street takeovers is to cause chaos, and they definitely do that well, in the form of noise and intimidation, gas fumes, disruption, and diverting our first responders' attention away from more serious things. So I just wanted to ask a question, which is, what does prohibiting street takeovers allow the police to do, and has this been proven effective in other towns? Thank you for your time.
All right. That's the end of folks who are there, who are registered. So we will close our public forum, and we'll see you at 7 when we start our meeting. Thank you.